Hello and welcome to this lesson on the fine old tune Orange in Bloom, or as some people like to call it, the Sherborne Waltz. And we're going to learn this tune on the Anglo Concertina. Due to the wonders of modern technology, I'm able to bring this lesson to you for the CG, Anglo Concertina and the GD, and if you want it, you'll be able to have it for the B flat F as well. I'm using my special tablature that I invented this year, 2020, and it's working out really well. So let's make a start. Now this is fairly unusual, this piece, because we're going to play it in the key of the fourth of the scale. So if you've got a CG concertina, you're going to be playing this in the key of F major. And if you have a GD concertina, you'll be playing this in the key of C major. I use a Jeffries layout on my concertina, but I've got tablature for a Wheatstone layout. All it means is that there are a few differences on the accidental row. So on bars 2, 4, 6, 10, 12, 17 and 23, and I'll give you a special tab for you if you're learning to play on a Wheatstone. Just let me know when you buy this lesson. You will be moving the accidental note, which is normally on button 8 to button 7 on the pull, okay? And in bars 17 and 20, which is button 9 on a Jeffries, finger 3 in this piece on the pull, you'll be moving that up to button 8. Basically those two notes are there for the Jeffries and up there for the Wheatstone. They just move up one. And in bar 21 I play a note which is on button 10, the lowest button on the accidental row on the pull. That's not on the Wheatstone. You have to go to row 1, button 8 on the push. So there. Okay? So those are the differences between the Jeffries and the Wheatstone, but bear in mind I'm teaching this on a Jeffries layout. So here we go, Orange in Bloom, Sherborne Waltz, so it's in 3 time of course, and our first bar is what we call a pickup bar. We call it bar 0, and we come in on the 3rd beat of the bar. Our main row in this piece is row 2. Now this is a 30 button instrument, it has 3 rows. The row nearest to me I call row 1, which on a CG instrument is the G row, on a GD instrument it's the D row. The row in the middle I call row 2, that's the main row in this piece. So if you have a CG instrument, that's the C row. If you have a GD instrument, that's the G row. If you've got a B flat F, that's the B flat row. So that's the row we're going to call the main row. So we start off on that row, and our first note you can see here is this one here, and it's finger number 1, it's button number 6 on the push, and it's this note here. The way I number my buttons, I always say this, I'll just go through this briefly. I go 1 to 5 on this side, the left hand side, from the bottom to the top, carry on down the other side 6 to 10 on all 3 rows. That isn't conventional, a lot of people do it a different way. I find this the most logical way to do it. It's also worth saying that bars 1 and 2 are the same as bars 9 and 10, and bar 7 is the same as bar 15. So a very straightforward start, come in on beat 3 with that note, and then you go to the beginning of the A part and bar number 1. Let's look at the right hand side first of all. Now you can see the counting over here on the left, which is 1, 2 and 3, okay, 1, 2 and 3, and that gives you the timing of your tune on the right hand side, and it sounds like this. Now all those notes are on the pull. We know that because on my tablature I put a minus sign to the left of the number. Now we start off with button number 7. All these notes are on row 2. We know that because there aren't any boxes around them. If you have a note on row 1, I put a box around it, or I put a thick black border, I should say. So they're all on row 2. So it's button 7, button 8, button 7, finger 2, finger 3, finger 2, and it's 1, 2 and 3. That's how it sounds. The left hand, the accompaniment, we start off on button 2 of the accidental row. We know it's the accidental row because it has this little A, okay, and the -3 means it's on the pull and it's 3rd finger. So it's this note down here. And what we do is we play that note, then we move our third finger over to row 2 in the middle row and up 1 onto button number 3, still pulling, and then on the third beat of the bar we come to the same row, button number 4, finger 2 also on the pull. So your left hand is 1, 2, 3. So it's not the same as the right hand timing wise. All the notes are on the beat. That sounds like this. So you can see you've got to slot those two hands together. It sounds like this when you put it together. So that you can see that you play this note here, okay, button 3, finger 3 on the pull, middle row, while this note on the right hand side is sustaining. Now this note occupies 2 cells, so it's going to sound for beat 1 and half of beat 2, and then you'll come in with this note here. So it's a matter of seeing how the cells coincide with the 2 sides, the 2 hands. It's pretty straightforward. So let's play the pickup bar and that first main bar.